So good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. And today we're going to be talking about Christmas content ideas, which is super fun and really, really timely as we head into the festive season. So before we get started, just a little bit of housekeeping to make you aware of. Today's webinar is being recorded and is recorded by Business Station, and they will email you a copy of it. So if you've tuned in live today, please be aware that you will also be sent a recording of it. So if you are taking notes, don't panic. The recording will also be coming out to you. However, if you don't receive the recording straight away, please contact Business Station directly as they hold the recording and it's not for me to send it out to you. So if you email me, unfortunately, I can't help get it to you any quicker, but hopefully they're on top of it and it'll come out to you nice and quickly. The webinar is scheduled to last about an hour and we will finish on time. Please note that you are welcome to ask questions during today's webinar. So I've got my chat box open on my screen so I can see if you ask me questions. Because this is set up as a Zoom webinar rather than as a Zoom meeting, you're unable to unmute yourself and ask a question. So you will have to put your questions in the chat. So I'll just put a little questions here. So I've just popped a little message saying, please put your questions here so you can see where to put them. And it's always a great idea if you do have questions to keep in mind that more than likely somebody else has had a question as well. So don't feel like you have to wait to the end. If you do have a question to ask, feel free to ask them as we are going along. Now, in case you haven't met me, my name is Sarah Thompson and I am the owner and founder of Online Social Butterfly. I have been running my own company for the last 10 years, specializing in digital marketing, and I have been a specialist advisor and trainer with Business Station for the last 2.5 years. And prior to running my own company, I actually worked for 15 years in marketing and communications, and I worked across a range of different companies from multinationals, not-for-profits, franchises, and I worked at all different tiers of government, local, state, and I worked for the federal government in the UK as well. I do have quite a few qualifications and I'm pretty happy to announce I just finished my master's a couple of weeks ago. So I can officially put not completing that. I've officially completed and I will be graduating soon, which is super exciting. If you would like to connect with me, you're welcome to do so. My favorite places to hang out are Facebook and Instagram, and I am Online Social Butterfly on those platforms. I hope I'm not going to have a tickle in my throat the whole time. Apologies. Okay, so let's start with talking about Christmas content and why is it important. Okay, so Christmas is really a festive period that extends for the whole month of December almost. It starts on the 1st of December, and that's when people really start to gear up. And if you're like me, you're quite happy to start it even a little bit sooner than the 1st of December, but officially Christmas season starts on the 1st, and that's tied into actually to the religious aspect of it, which is Advent, which is the 25 days leading up to Christmas, which starts on the 1st of December. Please note though, if you're going to get into the Christmas spirit with your content posting, it ends on the 26th of December, so you can't get any extra longevity out of talking about Christmas beyond Christmas Day. People move on very quickly, and so come Boxing Day, they don't want to be talking about Christmas on social media. They want to be kind of relaxing, moving on, and kind of getting into the holiday relaxing spirit. So just keep in mind that you don't want to keep your posts on that Christmas theme going anything beyond Christmas Day. The other thing I want you to consider is that whilst people are very busy during this period, their social calendar often goes into overdrive. They are very active on social media. And so I want you to think about the fact that this means they're going to be showing up more often. So they often do lots of check-ins, like I'm having drinks at this cool pub, or I'm checking in with all my friends, and I might catch up with someone that I haven't seen in a while and then want to go and find them on social media to connect with them. So people are definitely on social media a lot during the Christmas period. And so this is a perfect opportunity for you to show up and connect with them. So don't be afraid and think people are busier than ever. There's no point in me putting up Christmas content because they just don't have the opportunity, and that's absolutely not the case. And in the world that we are living in at the moment, with our COVID restrictions still in place and our inability to freely travel as we would like to, a lot of us won't be able to connect with our family and friends that live overseas or interstate. And this means social media is going to become even more important for us to share what we're up to so we can feel that connection with people. So I think this year is a really ripe opportunity for us to use social media in our businesses. So the festive season, as I mentioned, I want to be very clear about this. Your posting should extend from the 1st of December, not beyond the 26th. So it's a very distinct time frame, and I want you to keep that in mind. So we're going to start by talking about the essential posts that you should create in your business for the Christmas period. Now, there are a couple that I think you really want to consider. And if you do nothing else, look, I hope today you're inspired to do lots, but if you do nothing else, these are the two that you want to put up. You have to make it clear and be transparent about your Christmas closures of your business and your availability. So this means if you are closing your business, how will you respond to people? Are you responding to emails? Is it all closed? And I'll respond to you on the 3rd of January. Be really transparent about that so you can set expectations for people. It's absolutely fine to step away from your business as long as people know how that's going to be managed. So make sure it's really, really clear. And don't be afraid to update your Instagram bio to say currently closed, reopening 3rd of January. And people don't mind that. Remember, if you create a post on Facebook, it's a great idea to pin this post to the top, because it means that as other posts come up, people can see that post there all the time. So when they pop into your page, they get to see what your Christmas trading hours are going to be. And if you're like me and you're having a reasonably extended break, it's really, really important that people have that clarity and understanding. I don't want people sitting there thinking that I'm ignoring them for 3.5 weeks. Now, the other one that's a really important one to put up is some Christmas wishes. And what we want to do with this is we want to just as simple as wish people a Merry Christmas, okay? But you can go beyond that. You can take the opportunity to say thank you to your fans and followers. Thank you to what's been a particularly turbulent year, and you're still standing in your business at the end of the year. Thanking people for their support, for buying from your business, for attending your workshops, for coming along and buying whatever it is that you have to offer. And that's a lovely opportunity to do that recognition. It's really nice to do that. And with your Christmas kind of wishes post, you can put this out whenever it suits you. So if your office is closing, like on the 16th of December, you can put it out then. It's fine to do that. If you would like to put it out on Christmas Eve because you feel like you really want your audience to disconnect from social media, do that. I'm probably going to schedule a little Christmas wish to go out on Christmas Day, because I know that I see lots of people on social media on Christmas Day, even though I'm intending to have a break myself. So I want you to keep that in mind. Now let's talk about getting merry, because we want to get our business into the swing of feeling a little bit festive. And this all starts with our branding. So let's add a little bit of holly to our brand. And what I want you to think about is, how can you make your business a little bit fun and festive? And I've put on the page for you an example of my Facebook profile image. So I typically have, it says Online Social Butterfly with my little wee butterfly over the top. And I had my graphic designer create this as a Christmas bauble. It's super pretty and fun. And it replaces my standard profile image during the festive season. Now, what this does is it says to people, I'm in a little bit of Christmas spirits, which I love. And I love the fun. And I think it's more the lightheartedness that the festive season brings. I want to cue that to people that's where I'm at. I hope you are too. So if you don't have a graphic designer that can do this for you, you can do it in Canva so easily yourself. You just need to upload your JPEG file of your logo. You can add a little Christmas hat. You can pop some holly in the corner. You can put some festive lights over it. You can really go to town with it. So don't be afraid of trying something different and having a little bit of fun creating something in Canva. Now, with your Facebook cover images, again, this is a great opportunity to spread a little bit of Christmas cheer, put a Christmas message up there, and you can even consider adding your holidays or your business closure details in there as well, so that, again, they're very easy for people to find and access. So don't be afraid of trying that out. All right, so let's talk a little bit about community content, because this is a really great way for us to engage with our audience over the Christmas period. So we want our fans or our followers, whatever you want to call them, to get into the festive season. And there's a couple of things that I really like as ideas that you can try out. So you can run a competition or a giveaway during the Christmas period. And what this does is it does a couple of things. It gets your audience engaging, and it can actually even grow your following. So you can run competitions very easily on Facebook and Instagram. There are simple rules that allow you to keep compliant, so don't be afraid of that. And you can give away something as big or as small as you like. So don't be afraid that small prizes aren't attractive and appealing. There's been a significant amount of research done that says that on social media, people believe they have a better chance of winning a smaller prize. Okay, so really want you to consider that. So something under $50 is still really appealing. Okay, so don't be afraid to try that out. And the rules are, if you understand the rules of Facebook, it is very easy to run a competition. If you want to run them on Instagram, it's brilliant. It's the Wild West. There are no rules. Have some fun with it. But remember thinking about what's fun and important to your audience. So my audiences are business owners. So I typically, if I'm honest, normally run a competition in November, but it's been a bit hectic. And I love to give away my favorite business books for the year because I know my audience also enjoy business books as well. So don't be afraid to try that out. Now, the other idea that I want you to consider that's a slightly different take on that is to consider if it's important to you to make a donation to a charity. But what I would encourage you to do is talk about that on social media. And it's not talking about it to go, oh, look at me, I'm so great. What we want to do is talk about why it's important to us. So I might like to choose a charity that means something significant to me personally, or I might like to talk about a charity that means something to my audience. So I know my audience is predominantly made up of female business owners, okay? And I know that they understand the challenges of running a business. So I could choose a charity that had some significance to them. So there are some amazing charities out there. One of them is called Kiva, and it gives low loans, or sort of low amount loans to people, women in developing worlds, to help them start up their businesses. And the loans are sort of like $20, $50, which sounds like just a silly amount to us. So if I was to donate $100, that would make a huge difference to several women in the third world countries starting a business. So that feels like a really nice energetic fit for me and for my audience, okay? And I can talk about that company and that charity. And you can really ask people, you can run competitions to say, for every person that leaves a like on this post, I'm going to donate $1 to this charity. For every person that you tag, I'm going to leave $1. And you can cap it and say up to the value of $100. Like we all appreciate that we're not millionaires. We can't give away, 50 grand at Christmas. So don't be afraid to try that out, because I feel like what you're really doing is you're talking to your audience about who you are and what's important to you. So you want to choose something that genuinely resonates with you, and you can talk about why it resonates with you, or that genuinely resonates with your audience to get them engaged in it. But either way, you could have a little bit of fun with this. So you can encourage your audience to donate to that charity as well. There's so much you can do with this. But the idea is, I think for a lot of us with charitable donations, often we feel like it's not enough. Like, if I just give $10, does it really matter? And what we could encourage each other to do, you could put up a post and say, I said, I've got 5,000 fans. If every single one of you gave $1, it would be a $5,000 donation. And that would be massive. So you could start a little GoFundMe page and set it up to do that kind of thing. So there are so many great ideas. I don't want you to be afraid of this because you feel like you can't donate enough, because everything that we do makes an impact and has a significant impact on other people. So don't be afraid of it. Okay, the gift of giving in terms of goodies. So if your business is able to offer a physical product or a service that someone would like to receive as a Christmas present, then you are primed to talk about selling during the festive period. But be realistic. Like my business, honestly, unless you were unless you were doing business to business gifting and you knew that your client wanted to buy an online course on Facebook ads, I'm not going to offer my products for sale during the Christmas period, because it's not that exciting. I'm exciting, but it's not that exciting. Okay. So I want you to be a bit honest about that and think about if you do have products that people are interested in buying, make sure your business is geared up for the festive season. Now, one of the things that I find when I'm working with business owners is that we often haven't robustly tested our website. And what I mean by that is grab this little bad boy here, okay? Because remember, most social shopping is done on a mobile device. I want you to go onto your website and I want you to complete a purchase transaction so that you feel 100% confident that everything is working, like all your little duckies are in a row. That's really, really important because, and I know this sounds silly, but I've worked with lots of business owners whose e-commerce website was not working correctly. So you want to feel confident that everything is working, okay? And the other thing I want you to be really clear about is what is your shipping or postage times going to be? Because we all know this time of year, things slow down significantly and people don't want to be disappointed if they order from you and the present doesn't arrive in time. So make sure you are really clear about what you anticipate times are. Remember, if you use something like Sendle or Australia Post, they give daily updates on their website on what their delays and current delivery times are. So they say if you're posting from here to here, it's this. So they're very, very clear. The other thing that is super important for you to have going on is what we call social shopping. So if you have a physical product, you must have Instagram and Facebook shopping set up. Okay, and again, this is a small task or activity to do. And what it does is it allows people to easily buy from your social media. Okay, and we want to make that as easy as possible. So during the Christmas period, you want to put up lots of posts that tag your products in your social shops. And remember, don't just put up posts of these are all the things I have to sell. Try and give people ideas and inspiration. So what I mean by that is twofold. Put products into similar price points because people often shop by price. So you can say, here's my top 5 gifts on my website that are $50 or under. So helping it make it easy. And the other thing is about who would be an appropriate person to receive this gift. So you could put up a present, you could put up a post and say, this gorgeous bundle is perfect for the new mum or perfect for, you know, a Kris Kringle gift, or give people ideas and help do some of the thinking for them. Because remember, when you're busy, you go into overwhelm. So we want to try and make that a little bit easier for our audience. Now, if you are like me and you don't have any products or services that people are super pumped to be buying right now, you can still talk plenty about this during the silly season. So what I want you to think about is people want to, now more than ever, people want to shop local, shop handmade, buy local. It's such a huge movement. And what you can do is you can support other businesses. So if you follow me on Instagram, every Friday during December, I give a shout out to small businesses that I have used or that are in my network that have products to sell that are great Christmas gifts. And so that's my way of saying, hey, I don't have anything that's relevant, but these gifts are brilliant. So if you want to go and have a look at my Instagram stories today, I've tagged, I think, 4 or 5 business owners that I think have beautiful gifts, and they range in different price points for different audiences. And on my socials, I actually said, this is the perfect stocking stuffer for someone in your life who loves a bit of luxury. And there was one to do with tea. And I said, this is the perfect gift for someone who needs to take some time out in their life, because tea makes us stop and relax. So I share those each Friday. And what it does is it gives people ideas. And it also, I believe in shopping local myself. So it spreads more of that thought around. The other thing you can do, again, if we don't have physical products to sell ourselves, is we can give people inspirations. And if you love Google or Pinterest, then these ideas are literally a couple of keywords, entered into a search away, because there are literally millions of ideas on Christmas, craft ideas, cooking ideas, creating your own unique handmade gifts. So there are so many ideas out there that you don't have to create the content yourself. You can share other people's blogs. You can share other people's Pinterest pins. There is so much out there that you can share that gives your audience inspiration. But remember, thinking about who your audience is and what they are likely to do. So my audience, are they going to be making lots of crafts? Probably not, but are they interested in how they can buy sustainable gift wrap? Possibly. So thinking about what's important to your audience is really going to dictate what kind of content you share with them. Okay, I'm just going to have a wee sip. So let's talk UGC ideas. Now, if you haven't heard that phrase before, UGC refers to user-generated content. And what UGC is content that your audience creates. And this is, in marketing, we call this the absolute holy grail, because what we want is people to generate content for us. So they're doing our marketing for us. And if you have a product-based business, this is particularly easy. But if you have a service base that's an experience, it's also helpful. Remember, the world has changed. This camera goes with us everywhere. And so a photo is literally, it's in our hands most of the time anyway. So people love taking photos on their phones and they love sharing them on social media. So what we want to do is try and help them create content for us. And the way in which we do that is we give them ideas and inspiration. So you can get people to use a hashtag that you have created. So if you wanted to create a specific hashtag, that would get people to encourage them to share, or make sure you make it clear, this is your account, please tag my account in it when you create some content. So if you want people to do that, you can do that as simple as that. You can run small competitions to say, show yourself using my product this Christmas and tag my account to win this. So you can run it as a really simple competition. Think about your audience. So in my instance, I think that it would be really tough for me to say, show me, how you've used my service or product during the Christmas season. However, what I do know about my audience is that they're business owners and that a massive chunk of them, just like me, work at home. So I could say, share with me your favorite Christmas coworker dressed up for your Christmas party. So most of us work at home, so that will be your cat or your dog, your office cat or dog. And I dress both of my cats and dogs up in Christmas. They hate it. It's super fun. So that's a fun piece of content. You can have a little bit of fun with that. You could also say, share with us your fully decked out Christmas office. So like at home, I've got one piece of Christmas decoration at the moment, only because that didn't get put away last year. So it's been sitting in my office the whole year and I've popped it out already, but I will be decorating my desk. So having some fun and knowing your audience is really what UGC is about. So I know that if I was to say, show us your saddest Christmas party, there'd be so many of us that would sit at our desk by ourselves. It could be super fun. So don't be limited by the fact that you think you don't have a product that people can create user-generated content. Be a little bit creative, okay? And think about your audience and what's going to resonate with them. So let's talk content themes. And I'm going to be talking about this pretty much the rest of the webinar today because this is super fun stuff. So content themes can run for multiple days over the Christmas period. The obvious one is our 12 days of Christmas. And this has been so tried and tested on social media. And it's absolutely something that you can feel like you can start with confidence. And as I said, remember, you can start at any time up until as long as you finish by the 26th of December. So don't go, oh, I'm going to do 12 days of Christmas and it's the 19th of December. You've missed the boat, okay? But 12 days of Christmas should always be on a similar theme. So I could do 12 days of Christmas content ideas because that would be relevant to my business. I could also think about, so at this time of year, remember people are busy. And so what you share in terms of content doesn't have to be directly aligned with your business. I could talk about in terms of, for Christmas, for me and my business is a really important time to step back, unwind, and I actually take time, if I'm not going away, to try and catch up in my business. So I could talk about 12 planning ideas to when you take a break, or 12 ideas on how to take a break from social media. Lots of things that I can do that don't have to be directly related to my business. And so you could do 12 days of gift giving, 12 days of de-stressing. Please do 12 days of decluttering, because if you have children coming into the house, it's hectic at Christmas. Remember, if you want to give tips or ideas, do not go, I'm going to share over the next 12 days 36 tips with you on de-stressing, because it sounds super stressful, okay? You want to try and keep it, pare it back as much as you can. So one idea, one tip, or one action per post. That is the maximum that people can possibly take in generally, but even more so now during this Christmas period. The other thing I want you to think about for these multiple days is countdowns. And these can be really, really fun because everyone's excited. We all still remember, my children are teenagers and we still count how many sleeps it is to Christmas. So the notion of counting down to Christmas is something that we all love to do. Now you can count down and use the hashtag and count down, or you could count down until when your office closes. You can count down to Christmas Eve, and you don't have to start at, you know, now. You could start this and say, you could start at 5 sleeps, 4 sleeps, 3 sleeps. You can have a little bit of fun with this, and you can give people, what you want is people to keep showing up and following you every day because they're excited to see your next piece of content. So remember, add value by sharing ideas on how to reduce things like stress and business during the Christmas period is super important, and your audience will thank you for doing this. So this here, and I put it in a list because I was just like, I can just expand on this. I don't have 7,000 slides in my presentations. But remember that your audience is looking for things that are going to make their life easier. And so we want to do everything we can to make their life easier during this period. So here are some things. Remember, anything that you share has to be relevant and useful to your audience. So you can give safety tips. So this can be anything from, if you are going away during the Christmas period, over the next 5 days, I'm going to share 5 tips on keeping your home safe. If people are really into Christmas decorating, you can say 5 tips on how to make sure your decorations are safe. You could have, if you have young people coming into your family, like young children, here are 5 tips on how to ensure your home is safe. So safety tips are a really big one, and one that people will often share. So keep that in mind. Gift giving tips, like it's not even possible to give enough gift giving tips. Okay. And I actually really love blog posts that have gift giving ideas that are all about experiences. I love experiences rather than things. I think that we have enough things, and experiences are a great way to connect with people. So those kind of bits of content are great. We all love cooking and recipes over Christmas, so they are really, really fun. Remember, people are very busy at this time of year, so any tips that help them with shortcuts are always welcome and appreciated. And as I mentioned in the last slide, anything on decluttering is always appreciated because our home suddenly that might be already full gets even fuller with Christmas decorations, and it gets fuller with presents, and it gets fuller with people. So anything that we can do to reduce that by decluttering is always really helpful. People love decorating tips, and I've seen people do such clever like life hacks on decorating. I love those kind of things. Now, the last 2 are really great if your audience is located in a similar geographic area to you. So like I live in Perth, and so I love like places to visit might be things that are really great Christmas activities. So during the Christmas period, the Perth CBD does a Christmas lights trail. It is a really fun activity to do with your girlfriends, with your family. It's a really nice night out. So I could share that, what the Christmas light trail was. I could share that London Court does a snow experience during Christmas. So there's lots of ideas that people may not simply have seen, and that will take a little bit of research on your part. And again, making sure that you know if your audience is local to you or not. Also consider sharing local activities. So this might be carols by candlelight, Christmas kind of light trails that happen in the suburbs, river cruises, all those kind of things that give people ideas on what to do. And I love the notion that we can be helpful in that way, because I know that I get really busy. And I was actually talking to a friend yesterday saying, I love Christmas and I feel like I get busy and miss out doing some of the things that I would have really liked to do simply because I didn't know it was on. And so if someone was to put a post going, hey, don't forget Christmas lights trails on, I'd be like, oh, thank goodness. I love doing that. And I forgot that it was happening. So don't underestimate how nice it is for you to be useful and to become a source of information. Now, this slide here is about ideas that will take a little bit more work for you to do, okay? But you can have a lot of fun with them, and it's something that you could try out I wouldn't suggest you did all of these, but you might want to try one of them. So you can put a voucher and hide it on your website. So you can say to people during the Christmas period, if you'd like to get $5 off, I've got a voucher on my website. You just have to find it. Okay, super fun. If you're in the Google SEO space, it gets lots of traffic to your website, which is also awesome. You can run a treasure hunt across your socials. And this can be really, really fun to do if you know that people are really highly engaged with you. You can also run it through your Facebook group, so it would encourage membership into your group. So you can say, like the last hint could be, visit my Facebook group, and that's where the prize is. So it's a really clever way of driving traffic. It drives interest, but remember, do not make it too complicated. So your treasure hunt tips should be reasonably easy for people to solve. We're not talking cryptic crosswords here. You can hide something in all your posts. And if you've been paying attention, you'll notice I've got snowman on every single one of these content theme slides. So you can choose to put like a little snowman somewhere in each one of your posts. You can hide it in there. Having a little bit of fun with this. And you can say on December 24th, did you know that every single one of my posts during the month had a snowman hidden in it? Can you find them all? But just being fun with things. I'm actually thinking about doing this for the couple of days before Christmas, because I read it when I was doing research for this web, and I thought that sounds super fun. So what you can do is you can let Santa take over your socials. So when you let someone take over your socials, it's often because you want to give them an elevated voice. So often if we have a good following, we let someone take over our socials because maybe they have a social cause that we believe in that we think our audience would resonate with. But on a fun bent, you could have Santa take over your socials, and he could talk. It would be in Santa's first person voice. And I always think, if I'm honest, I suspect Santa's maybe got a drinking problem or is a bit of a lush, because everyone leaves him alcohol, and he would definitely have a sugar problem because everyone leaves him cookies. So you could talk about the fact that maybe Santa's been on a frantic detox leading up until Christmas. You could talk about how Mrs. Claus might be having him work out. There are so many fun ideas that you could post, and it would give you an opportunity to be very fun and engaging on your social media. That doesn't have to be your voice, because sometimes if you're a solopreneur like me, people only hear your voice, and it would be fun to change that out and switch it up and be a bit, jolly and merry. And I think when I was reading this, someone had done a huge blog post on it, and they actually said, if Santa was CEO of your company, and they showed how, if he was CEO, what it would look like, how he did a performance review on all his team. So all of his elves, all of his reindeers, and how they performed and who did the best. It was super fun. And they put a fair bit of effort into this. So if this is something you're going to do, remember I said it's going to take a little bit more effort for you to consider. The other thing is sharing craft ideas. Now, when I say this, if you're a crafty person, you go crazy. But if you're like me and you have fantasies of being a crafty person and you have loads of Pinterest pins, but the reality is quite different, I love those posts where people go, this is the Pinterest or Instagram image, and this is what I made. It's super fun. People love that human side of it. So craft ideas, you can have epic fails, you can have this is what I did, and you can create crafts that you think people would like to do with their family. We love Christmas periods because we love that opportunity to connect with people, and it makes us pay attention to check that we are connecting. The other thing that you can do, and actually this week on Instagram, if you happen to be a Spotify subscriber, everyone has been sharing their Spotify sent out emails to everyone that subscribed, talking about these were your top 10 songs that you listened to this year. These were your favorite playlists. And people on the Instagram stories, they gave you the collateral to share it, and it became so prolific. So it was super interesting. We've got Spotify in our family. I use Apple though, so I didn't share it, but it was really interesting. And I would wonder how much interest they generated. But Spotify and Apple have Christmas playlists, and you can share your favorite playlist. You can create your own playlist, make it public, and share that. So there is lots of fun you can have to. My husband tells me I have appalling taste in music generally, but Christmas, it really peaks. And I think my playlist would be something that no one would want to listen to, but it would be fun to see it. So have a little bit of fun with this. This does all take a little bit more work, but remember, if your audience is going to think it's fun and engaging, it's worth putting that time and effort into it. All right, so this is where we want to ask our audience. So remember that with social media, we're really looking for that engagement where people can engage with our content. And remember, the algorithm will reward engagement. Okay, that's really, really important. So when people comment on our content, they like, comment, or share, that's part of the algorithm going, yes, this content's interesting. So you can ask them for lots of different help. Remember, people want to feel part of your community. So if you are struggling to buy a gift for someone, say, I've got to buy a $20 Kris Kringle, hit me with your best idea. Okay, so people can hit them. Say to them, what is your favorite chocolate to eat over the Christmas period? Mine is Terry's chocolate orange. I love it when it comes out. Ask them for their favorite, whatever it is. Ask them to say, I'm thinking of wearing these. I'm going to a Christmas party. Which dress do you think is better? And put up 2 choices. Ask for some feedback saying, this is what I'm thinking of doing next year. What do you think about this? Now, remember, people love Christmas because it's steeped in tradition. Okay, and we love talking about our traditions and we love reminiscing. So you could say to people, when you were growing up, what was your favorite tradition related to Christmas, or what was your favorite activity related to Christmas? People love to reminisce and they love to share. And these are very easy content ideas. And with those reminiscing ones, I would put them close to Christmas. So kind of coming the 20th of December, I would start to push those content ideas through then. It's going to be really, really helpful for people to see those. It's a fun way to engage without being too mentally taxing. And by that point, so I think it's Friday, the 17th of December. Oh my gosh, don't quote me on that. A lot of people tend to start closing for Christmas. So from that period onwards, your content needs to be less business, more fun. Okay. And so those kind of getting people to talk about traditions and, reminiscing and what was your favorite dish growing up, what was the thing you liked the least. They're the kind of content that people are looking for during that period. Okay, now finally, this is something that I want to kind of push everyone out of their comfort zone a wee bit, because we know that video content has been a hugely important part of social media for so long. And most of us get terrified of talking to camera, okay? It's something that we feel makes us feel like we're completely exposed. Like people are like, oh God, what if everyone's sitting there going, oh my God, she needs to do something with herself. She should lose some weight and get her hair done and wear more makeup. And honestly, the easiest way to step through your fear of video is to record it. But that can often be quite daunting because you're like, well, what do I say, Sarah? Do I want to do a whole video tutorial, or what do I want to do? This is your moment, okay? I would love for you to create a Christmas video of yourself. It is not along the vein of the Queen's Christmas message, okay? It can be as simple as you picking up your phone, pre-recording it, put a Santa hat on. I've got some crazy, like my teenage boys also love Christmas, surprisingly. So I've got lots of little Christmas accessories. So I will do a little Christmas wish. And I would just simply say, I'm wishing you a Merry Christmas. Thank you for supporting my business. Stay safe. Whatever it is that you want to, it could literally be 15 seconds. But I really want to close with this because I want to kind of push you to put yourself out there on video, because we know that the future trend is video. Okay. And if you never step forward and record yourself and become visible, it's highly likely that you're not going to do it in a bigger way. So Christmas is a really easy way for you to dip your toe in, floaties on in the shallow end of the video pool, all right? And so I want you to just try it out. If you feel like you don't need to go live, you can pre-record it on your phone. It's totally fine. If you're feeling a little bit brave, you can do it on your Instagram stories, because then it will vanish. But what I really, really want to focus in on is, please do it. Please talk to camera. And my best advice, if you haven't ever spoken on a video, is to remember this. People want to connect with you, and the fastest way for them to connect with you is for them to see you. And I know that the more I show up in my social media, the more people connect with me as their audience. And I have people meet me all the time and say, oh, I see your videos, I feel like I know you. And I also know this, and I can't stress this enough. If you are worried about how you look or how you sound, remember that the world needs your voice. We need lots of voices. And I know that when I show up in social media, I'm giving permission for other women to show up because I'm saying, this is me. I'm a middle-aged woman. I'm overweight. I've got wrinkles, but do you know what? I love what it is that I do, and I love sharing it with you. And I want to give permission for you to do the same. Okay. So when I show up, I give other people permission to show up. So remember that us being visible actually is part of a ripple movement that says the world isn't full of perfect, beautiful Instagram models. It's full of real people, and we've still got something valid to say. So that is like a little bit of a lecture. Apologies, but this is your moment to have a chance to create a fun, easy video that can be as disposable as your Instagram stories, or it can go on a genuine post on your Facebook or Instagram. Do not be afraid of it, but please do it. And if you do it, please tag me, because I want to cheer you on to say well done for embracing that. So that brings me to the conclusion of today's webinar. I hope that you have enjoyed it. I love Christmas stuff. I could talk all day. And I hope it's given you some ideas and inspiration. Does anyone have any questions I'd like to pop in the chat for me? So many awesome ideas. No question. Thanks so much. Oh, thanks, Rio. Thank you so much for showing up. I'll keep talking, but if anyone has any questions, please write them, because I will definitely come back to them. But I just wanted to wrap up today's session by talking about the newly revamped, what was previously called ASBAS, or Australian Small Business Advisory Service, was relaunched in September under the new name Digital Solutions. And under the Digital Solutions program, you can get 7 hours of personalized business mentorship for $44. This mentorship is across 4 key areas. So social media and digital marketing, online security and data privacy, websites and selling online, and business software. Now, if you are interested in this, there are 3 key criteria you must meet to be eligible for the program. You must have an ABN that's registered in WA, Queensland or NT. You have to be running a business that's a for-profit business, i.e. not a not-for-profit, and you have to have less than 20 full-time employees. So just to reiterate, you get 7 hours of personalised mentorship for $44. If you are interested in that, you can go to businessstation.link/register. And when you fill out your application and pay your $44, you can enter information that gives them more details on what it is that you're looking help for. Now, if you would like to request a specific advisor like myself, you are welcome to put that advisor's name in there. So if you would like to work with me during December and January, you can put Sarah Thompson in there, and you will then be allocated to me as your advisor. We've got a team of about 20 expert advisors. So if you are looking for some specific help, please let them know that, and then they can closely match your needs with that advisor. If you would like to work with me, I would love to work with you in December, Jan. It will probably be Jan, but you can be aligned to me now. My areas of expertise are Facebook and Instagram marketing, Facebook advertising, Canva, and content planning. So those are kind of what I can help you with. Probably big picture, I can do, digital marketing strategy, because that's my background, but those are my key areas. So if you'd like to work with me, I'm Sarah Thompson, that you pop in there. If you'd like to work with any advisor, you just leave it blank and you'll be allocated to someone. So that draws us to a close of today's webinar. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you for attending today. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please connect with me, Online Social Butterfly. I would love to see your posts, and I would love to be cheering you on from the side. So I'm glad you've all got some ideas. Thank you for your lovely feedback. If I don't speak to you before, please have a very Merry Christmas, and I'll see you all on the other side. See you later.